Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the reveal of two of the very prestigious awards offered by ONPA, the Baker Family Public Service Journalism Award, and for the first time, the Christine Moore Advertising Executive of the Year Award. We will start with the Baker Family Public Service Journalism Award. In keeping with tradition, we will have our contest chair, Scott Swanson, present.
Thanks. Before I start, let me just say that I'm going to be pronouncing some reporters' names, or individuals' names, I should say, that I've never heard audibly before, so forgive me if I'm off. So let's start. And I have to start by saying that nearly, I think every Oregon newspaper could have entered this category this year, given our journalists' efforts to cover the COVID pandemic and the wildfires and the effects of all those things on our communities. As it turned out, most of the entries in the public service category actually were not about COVID. Our 5 entries spanned a wide variety of topics. And as is typical, the entries focused on significant problems that might have otherwise been ignored by officials and gone unnoticed by the general public. And as usual, the judges had a very difficult time coming up with winners because all these entries are very worthy of our recognition. So let me just give you a summary of the entries and then tell you who our winners are for this year. The Daily Historian produced a report on an outbreak of the coronavirus at a local seafoods plant with extensive coverage of the response from the Hispanic community, which was heavily impacted by this particular outbreak, and which charged that the company had failed to protect workers. The Kaiser Times wrote a series of stories and editorials about an effort to change the city's charter, which, in the words of managing editor Eric Hold, intentionally marginalized LGBTQ members of the community. The newspaper's coverage ignited public interest in the issue, and updates to the charter on the ballot were approved by 2/3 of the voters in the city. The Forest Grove News-Times chronicled a series of deaths on a busy local highway between Hillsborough and Cornelius, and the lack of response by state transportation officials to complaints from residents about the dangers of Highway 8, commonly known as TV Highway. This was a notable effort by the newspaper to bring to light a problem that could easily have continued to be swept under the rug in a busy metropolitan area. The reporting brought to light patterns and lack of coordination and cooperation from officials, and it definitely warrants a 3rd place finish in this very tight competition that we have this year. While the Alameda fire was garnering the attention of nationwide media last year, or last summer, I should say, the Grants Pass Daily Courier produced a voluminous series of stories and extensive photo coverage over the course of 14 days on a smaller but also deadly wildfire called the Slater Fire, which scorched more than 157,000 acres, destroyed 200 homes and another 500 structures, and killed 2 people in Happy Camp in Northern California, near where it started. The fire moved into Southern Oregon and threatened the historic Oregon Caves Chateau, and it did burn the historic Bolin Mountain Lookout. The Courier decided to devote significant resources to focus on this fire, which also threatened Cave Junction, a town that's within the Courier's circulation area there in Josephine County. The newspaper staff produced photos, features, front page news stories, the gamut, all quality work. It was decisive saturation coverage, which only newspapers can do well. And so our 2nd place award in this category goes to the Daily Courier, which is richly deserving. Our winner in the public service category chronicled the tidal wave of jobless claims that were received by the State Employment Department, 18,500 on a one day alone, which was more than the department had ever received in a single week during the Great Recession. Their story told how the state's antiquated computer system, for which planned upgrades had been repeatedly delayed, could cost laid-off workers more than $100 million in benefits. Reporters Mike Rogaway and Hillary Barode explained why applicants weren't getting answers, why fewer than half of those trying to call the department were actually able to get through and then sit on hold for nearly 2 hours. They also told how workers were subject to a waiting period imposed by the state that could cost each one a $600 payment, which was a total of about 162 million for 270,000 unemployed workers. They also told how state leaders declined to respond to their questions and how the department was loath to take corrective action. Following publication on April 15th of last year, Governor Kate Brown said she would waive the delay that the department was insisting was necessary. As we said earlier, all these submissions represent significant examples of how newspapers serve the public interest. This one, though, provided a reach and impacted citizens throughout the state who were personally experiencing exactly what the newspaper was reporting. And so it was a little bit more comprehensive than the other more localized events or efforts. Sorry, can't talk anymore. Thus, we congratulate the Oregonian, this year's winner of the Baker Family Public Service Journalism Award. Thank you for all your efforts. Thanks to all of you who didn't enter, because I know a lot of you put resources into serving your readers, which is exactly what true newspapers do. So without further ado, Lori, I'll turn it back to you to present the Christine Moore Advertising Executive of the Year Award. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Christine was an ONPA past president and stayed close to the ONPA and its staff. She understood the importance of the association and believed in the work we did here. Christine was a longtime advertising manager and publisher in Oregon, first at the East Oregonian and then at the Pamplin Media Group. During her 20 years with Pamplin, she strove for excellence and asked for the best of all of her account executives. Christine understood that a strong base of local advertising provides the foundation for success in community journalism. She continually pushed for excellence in customer service, rate card integrity, creative solutions, and innovation. She was the perfect mix of tough and kind to everyone she worked with. Christine was very involved in the communities her newspapers served. She was a stern negotiator, self-driven, goal-oriented, and worked tirelessly on everything that was thrown her way. If you've ever worked on a project with her, you know she's about going the extra mile, getting it done, and moving on to the next thing. From this great loss arose an idea to honor Christine with an award that exemplified the sales and customer service skills that Christine demanded of the people around her. The award is intended not only to remind us of Christine and her standards, but to recognize those who demonstrate those same skills and traits. We had several nominations, all very deserving, but one stood out amongst the others. Kim Kell of the Blue Mountain Eagle was chosen for this inaugural award. The nomination was submitted by a combination of 4 managers and executives in the EO Media Group. I won't read the entire nomination letter, but I will highlight some of what was written about Kim.
Oh.
Kim serves as the only advertising executive for the weekly Blue Mountain Eagle, circulation 1900, and the only newspaper in Grant County. She has worked for the Blue Mountain Eagle since 2008, approaching her 13-year anniversary with the company. Grant County's population of 7,200 is scattered over 4,500 square miles and is an hour-and-a-half drive from the nearest town with a population of over 10,000. Grant County is one of the few counties in Oregon to not only have lost population in the past 10 years, but businesses too. There are 219 employer and 543 non-employer businesses in Grant County. In 2020, hardly a banner year for advertising, Kim carried an active account list average of 112 advertisers per month. That's 15% of the total businesses in the county advertising in the Blue Mountain Eagle every month. When the pandemic hit and in-person calls turned to into phone and email outreach. Those calls were just as effective for her as in-person calls because of the relationships and the trust she had built with her clients over the years. Kim is the brand ambassador for the Blue Mountain Eagle. She's positive, outgoing, and works hard on behalf of the newspaper and for her community. She volunteers in the community and serves as a first responder on the volunteer search and rescue team. Kim is proud of the Blue Mountain Eagle, the importance of rural journalism to Grant County, and the role that the newspaper plays in local business success. We are proud of Kim's work ethic, customer-centered creativity, and perseverance. We believe that those are the qualities that exemplify the spirit of Christine Moore, and should earn Kim Kell the award for ONPA's Advertising Executive of the Year. Our ONPA contest committee agrees. Congratulations to Kim Kell and EO Media for having such a great employee in Kim.
Speech.
Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
I'm not muted.
No.
Yeah,
God,
Kim, you're not muted.
And that is true throughout my days. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. I'm so honored to receive this award, and thank you all for believing in me and giving me the courage and strength to carry on. Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything to say?
I just like to weigh in as somebody who worked very closely with Christine for 20 years. Kim, everything that the EO Media folks said about you and what you do to be a strong asset in your community and for your company really is dead on with what Christine lived every single day. So congratulations to you. I know Christine would be proud to have you as the first recipient of this award, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And having known Christine and knowing Kim, I got to tell you, they're cut from the same cloth. And I mean that in the most positive ways. And she's a pit bull, as was.
Thank you, Heidi.
And you mean that in the most positive way too.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, very nice. I'm glad we could do this today. Also, congratulations to the Oregonian on the Public Service Journalism Award.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to say anything, Christine? I'm sure that was, we don't usually get to have comments after our awards for some of these, so you might as well speak up now.
Lori, were you meaning me? Sorry.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate that. It's a real honor. One of the biggest awards that ONPA gives. It's the heart of what we all do in our newsrooms every day is serve the public and look for the best public service journalism that we can possibly do. It is only, we're only able to do it through the support of the advertising departments that work so hard to get people to support our work. And I think in this last year of COVID, wildfires, protests, you know, everything, it's just been amazing to see so many newsrooms just really step up and do such terrific work on behalf of their communities. So congratulations to everyone for one of the most difficult stretches of journalism that any of us probably can remember, but you've all done just fantastic work on behalf of Oregon's people and communities.
All great stuff. Congratulations, everyone. This completes our presentation for today, unless anyone else has something to say.
No, thank you, Lori.
You bet.
Yes, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Lori.